Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm back with my buddy C. Los.
Hey guys.
And he's brought a special treat for us today. He has the original NES action set.
Yeah, based on the previous video, I promised you guys that I was going to bring this action set for us to unbox. And I hope you guys like it.
He also brought his Lego NES that recently came out not that long ago. I think they're still available, I'm not 100% sure. But it is a nice little action set.
It took me a couple of days to build this, guys.
Yeah, it's actually pretty nice.
Yeah.
We also have an NES Classic. We have the Mario Game & Watch. Just a couple Mario titles there. I see you also brought a lunchbox.
Yes, one of my old lunchboxes
cool.
that my brother and I, we would always share.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I remember those lunchboxes. I'd probably still take one to work if
I just, again, I'm a huge Nintendo fan, and this is one of my happy memories or happiness that I would always say in a previous video. Sound like a broken record, but this brings happiness towards my life.
So this was the original one I got, and that has the original light gun that was in the same color as the NES system before they came out with the orange barrel version. So this is the one I remember getting, and I was very excited to open. It started off on an Atari 2600, and then Nintendo just kind of changed my life on video games.
Were you like that kid from YouTube that was crying?
Oh, Nintendo 64! No, I didn't do all that.
Oh, okay.
I did. Dude, I like that video though.
Yeah.
Like, Nintendo 64, and then they like slow it down. He's like, like all crazy. Yeah.
Hilarious.
No, that's a very great video.
Again, it just brings excitement towards the family. That's all it was. I have great memories with the system, and it was $99.99 at Children's Palace when we got it, and my brother had one end and I had the other end because it was kind of heavy to
when you were carrying it
when we were
I got
kids.
I got it for Christmas.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow.
I had my little brother, so I had already had him getting into video games in his high chair, playing Atari 2600. And then when Nintendo came out, it was a whole different, set of games. It was a lot better than the 2600. I guess it reinvigorated the gaming market, which was crumbling after 2600. They took a chance. They modeled it to look not more like a gaming machine, but something that you could put in your entertainment system, right? Like if you had one, you had your VHS player or whatever you had. That's why they modeled it the way they did in its square look. That way it could fit on your entertainment center, and it wouldn't look like a gaming system.
Yeah.
If you remember, there was a lot of controversy with parents, though, with this system came out.
What happened?
Because all the kids wanted to do was play games, right? So
they thought we weren't going to do our homework, but they were wrong.
They thought it was going to take away, it was ruining our minds.
Not at all.
And honestly, it was better because it taught you a lot of hand-eye coordination. I mean, it didn't ruin me as a child. Obviously that went nowhere because look where we're at now, all the way up to Switch and PS5 and Xbox, Series X. The gaming market is still going today.
But it's mind-boggling that from today's date, from the past in 1985, how the graphics just changed. The growth of the video game industry is unbelievable, guys.
Yeah.
Never would have thought that I'll put something in my head and play.
Oh, like the virtual?
Yeah.
Yeah. VR is pretty cool.
It is.
It's something different.
What do you recall with the games that you had with this game? Because we could talk about so many games, but what is the most that you could recall always playing with the system as a kid in your life?
When I first got the system, it was a lot of Mario, obviously, because that was the pack-in game, right? So
yes,
I was always playing Super Mario Brothers, playing 2 players with my brother. Like he brought up, it was, I was Mario, he was Luigi. Being able to play that game, find all the secret things, level 3, where you were able to hit that Koopa shell and, get a whole bunch of lives. Trying to get your way through this last stage, which was like a maze. You had to go down the right warp pipes to get where you needed to go fight Bowser. So it was fun. Every game I got after that was my father. I mean, he was the one that was picking out the games. A lot of it was based off the covers. I was able to check out a lot of great games. Unfortunately, Mario 2 and 3 were 2 games my dad never purchased, but I got into Castlevania, I got into Ninja Gaiden, I got into Contra, a lot of great series, Metroid. Just so many different games were coming out. Some games that some people don't know, Shatterhand. So I think it's a great game. I still love playing that game today.
It's expensive though.
Yeah,
I know, but how'd you say?
Yeah, it's like one of those games nobody knows. Vice Project Doom, all these games, Power Blade. It's a lot of games that maybe weren't big, like big names like, you know, Mario and Rygar. I mean, that was a great game. There's just some of those unknown games that a lot of people didn't get to check out. But I mean, you had your Ninja Turtle trilogy was great. I mean, there's so many games on the system. I mean, you could go through lists and lists. I mean, there's just so many. The original Metal Gear. I mean, there's tons of games that you could go through. Zelda. How could we forget Zelda? Zelda's in there. I mean, I always go back to the Nintendo.
Yes.
Because it was such, for me, my intro to video games. Even though I had an Atari, but it was my intro to really loving video games.
You know, I had that same type of feel as well that you're having. But I also brought the Lego TV set because I want you guys to know what I grew up with. That we had a similar TV like this.
Oh, the
but
CRT.
we were sitting on the floor.
Yeah, so were we.
My brother's on my right hand side and my sisters are in the back, like watching what are we playing? Yeah. And then we're taking turns, and that's my happy memory of us being together.
We had one TV. It was just that one TV. Montgomery Ward, if everybody remembers that.
Of course.
We played in the living room a lot. You know, 'cause my parents had Pac-Man. You know, they had some games they liked to play, right? And then me and my brother took it to a whole nother level with like really learning how to play a lot of these games. We ended up having the Atari first, and we played on a TV about this big, right? It was a small TV for like, you know, during the hurricane kind of thing. We always played on the small TV. Well, then when the Nintendo came out, my parents had no problem putting it up to the new TV, right? Which was a little bit bigger, like an 18-inch, 20, somewhere around there. And we played on that, and it was the same. Like, they had it on a stand, you know, so they could, you know, watch from the bed.
Yes.
But me and my brother always sat on the floor, and we played up like this. And you would think I would have, like, neck pain or something still to this day because we always played like that. I mean, I still went outside to play. When I had time, you know, it was nice to play these games.
Our downtime.
Yes.
Of just, after doing your homework, guys, like I did when my mom and dad would educate me. Do your homework first, and if you do good, if you do well on your grades, you're welcome to play it.
Now, the only thing that was tough on these was a lot of these games had no save, right?
Yeah. But I didn't mind, though.
Yeah, but, I mean, well, some had password features. Some had, they started coming out with, like, Zelda, when, you know, it had the battery pack.
Yes.
But any game before that, like, if you wanted to hold where you're at, you basically had to leave the Nintendo on, right?
We did that too.
Yeah, so like you would not tell, you would not tell mom and dad that you left it on because you're wasting electricity, right?
We would cover the power buttons or something.
Yeah, with something so they wouldn't know that it was on. Yeah, I still remember that, man. And
great memories.
And NES was brutal for always making you start the level over if you died.
Correct.
So, but all that did was make you even better the more you played, right?
The more practice, the more better you became of it as a gamer.
Yeah, now like.
But you're a professional gamer. I'm not.
Well, what's funny is now like you have these games with rewind features. So something that we wish we could have done back in the day, but we couldn't. We would die and then start back at the, you know, all over again because of one little mistake. So now you have
which is the Mega Man game series.
Well, like that, for instance.
Oh my gosh.
It was frustrating.
Guys, don't play Mega Man without the rewind feature.
Yeah, it's frustrating, but you would get better at the levels because you'd have to redo them all over again, right? Now you have the rewind feature in a lot of these games, which is nice to play nowadays because, like, I was able to. Disney came out with their collection, right? And I love the Disney games on the NES, right?
Yeah.
The Tailspin, DuckTales, you know, Darkwing Duck, all those.
Chippendales
Rescue Rangers. And now on that collection, you're able to rewind. So it was funny to me playing, like, let's say for instance, Tailspin, which you could easily die on and restart the level. Now you can rewind, and that one little mess up you did, you rewind it, and now you go back and you're like, okay, don't do that this time.
Yeah.
You know, and I was able to beat all those games a lot easier than when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because of the rewind feature.
So I also like the participation with my sisters and my brother, that we would save up a little bit of that we can in our childhood, and we were able to buy Super Mario 2. That was a different Mario that I wasn't expecting from the first Mario.
Yeah, it was one of those titles. It's kind of like Zelda, where Zelda had the original top-down view, and then Adventure of Link was a side-scroller.
What'd you think about Mario 2, if you don't mind me asking?
So Mario 2, I liked it, but yeah, I was kind of like, wow, this is way different, you know? And now you could pick up items, you could throw things.
Because it was basically based on another game.
Yeah, so I found out later. I mean, the game overall wasn't bad. Beating Ward at the end and then finding it was all a dream. I was like, oh wow, you know, like they do that in movies.
Yeah, I liked it.
But it was cool.
It
you know,
was
it introduced
cool.
Birdo.
It was
introduced
different.
Ward. Yeah, it introduced a lot of new characters, right? And then the element of being able to use 4 different characters, and each one has different like abilities.
My sister would use Peach.
And then Peach could float.
I'm like, Peach is better than Mario.
Yeah, Peach could
It's
float.
awesome. But some of the game levels for Mario 2 were a little bit difficulty, but using Peach made it easier. And then Luigi jumping a little bit higher than Mario, and then Toad was stronger.
Yeah, it was a good game. I mean, you had the bombs, you had different weapons you could use. The boss fights were cool.
Which Mauser was one of my favorite boss fights.
Yeah, me too.
I like Mauser.
Yeah. They added the element of those secret doors, right?
Yes.
They had a lot of warps in
Yes.
the game where you could warp to different levels.
I love that game.
So it's a great game, but I mean, Mario 3 was like a masterpiece.
My brother loved that game.
Yeah.
He was always playing that game.
Yeah, Mario 3 was amazing. They added a lot of new elements on that one.
Yeah.
It went back to more of what the first game was like, right? But they still had secrets in there too.
Yes.
You had the whistles and everything like that, which you remember in the Wizard.
Because that's our previous videos that we talked about.
Yeah, in the Wizard they actually showed that. Remember?
What'd you think about that when that happened? Were you surprised that the warp on Mario 3 on the Wizard movie?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
I thought that was cool. You know?
I like the Wizard as a movie overall because of the Nintendo nostalgia, right?
Yes,
like
it had a lot of games.
But the thing I thought was weird about it was like when they're in Vegas, right, and they're playing all these old games on arcades. I'm like, wait, what? They had arcades with like an original NES games in them? No way. But I get they were just trying to progress the story, so I didn't make a big deal about it. But I thought it was a little weird.
I didn't realize that. But in the end, it was.
In the end, it was a good movie.
Yeah.
The Power Glove was in there. Yeah, it's a great system. I have a lot of fond memories.
So Mario 3, of course, there's no save time.
Yeah.
Were you able to go throughout the whole levels as a kid, like
the entire?
Yeah.
Without using the whistles? I tried it a few times, and I mean, you can only make it so far. You know, the game is kind of it has so many stages.
Like it'll take you like 2.5 hours to go
had
through
so many
all
stages,
the levels.
And, yeah, my parents weren't gonna let me sit there for that long. A lot of times I did use the warp.
We kind of like did it like. We got the warp. Okay, we haven't gone to World 3 yet.
Yeah.
So let's skip to that World 3 so we can see what's going on. My brother loved the Tanuki suit. And he loved just flying through the stage all the time. Were you that kind of a player?
Oh, yeah. It was kind of cool. I mean, they added that new element in there, so it was great.
And then I would use this special P symbol, wing.
Yes.
When you beat the World 1.
Yeah.
And we would save that towards the last stage of World 8. Because there was like a scene, like a ship and bombs or like, you know.
Yeah, and if you use that one, you could just stay off the screen and not get hit.
We cheated, guys, as a kid.
Yeah, because I mean, well, it's not really a cheat. I mean, it's part of the game, right?
Okay.
It's just a way.
If you bring it out that way, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the game.
You look at it that way.
It wasn't like you used a Game Genie.
Yeah.
You know, like you were using what was in it. Obviously, if you don't have one of these, you can't get one. You have the NES Classic. And the NES Classic is kind of hard to track down now. They didn't re-release any that I'm aware of. I think they had a second version, but it's still kind of hard to get, you know.
Yeah.
But a lot of these titles are on the Switch. The Switch keeps releasing titles on their online subscription service.
Yes, which is I'm thankful for that.
So you can always go on there. I mean,
so that your kids could be able to play it as well, or now let's.
A lot of the titles we grew up with. The Nintendo had a lot of great games.
And if you guys want to go to eBay, y'all guys should be able to purchase the Game & Watch, which when I was growing up, we had one of those. And it was kind of cool to reenact that again as an adult.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of happiness. It has Mario 1 and Mario 2.
But
Lost Levels.
But it's the Lost Levels, the Japanese one.
Which I don't recommend, guys, that game. You got to be really, really good to be able to play that game. Because that game...
It's tough.
With 3 lives, there's no way that you guys
could get that game. Very tough. Now I see why they went the route they did with Mario 2.
Switching the game. Like
for your Western gamers, right? Yeah, it was a little
unbelievable, different. Billy. I was shocked by it. So Billy, as you can see, some of the collection here, I just want to bring that there is a Game Boy Advance version of Mario Brothers.
Yeah, because they came out with a lot of those when they re-released all the classic collection. You had Castlevania, you had Metroid, they did the Mario,
Xavius, they did the Ice Climbers.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of titles. Did they do Excitebike?
They did.
Right? Yeah,
they did. Which was one of my favorites playing it with this system.
They were all like $20 titles too.
They were. They were really affordable. Really affordable.
Yeah, not maybe anymore.
Not anymore.
at the time they were $20 titles.
And
so.
I hate that, guys, that I have to buy doubles now.
For retro collecting,
it's
it's tough now because everybody is trying to get on the retro train, you know? And
yeah.
Like when I started rebuying all these games,
Yeah.
they were not that expensive. Like it was easy to go where I could drop $100 and walk out with like a stack of NES games, you know? And now trying to get them, it's more of like a supply and demand, and you know, your eBay buyers know that, you know? Like I get it sometimes because it's like, well, I've had this title since the 80s, and look at the condition it's in. So yeah, I mean, I get it. You're gonna have to pay a little more, but it does kind of suck. I mean, that they are expensive.
So you know, if I would have known about the Super Mario Brothers that was sealed and had the sticker Nintendo, it sold for over $2 million, guys.
I had also heard there was a lot of controversy with the company that does the grading and
Water.
the seller. Yeah, like it's there's controversy saying that it was just a way to kind of drive up the market for retro games.
Like,
so I don't know what to believe on there, but obviously somebody paid $2 million.
Like I understand the first issue of Superman. I get it.
Oh yeah, because
that one's like.
Well, I mean, the main deal with those comics, those old comics, is the fact that a lot of parents thought they were bad for their children. A lot of them got burnt. People threw them away. They didn't know they were going to be ever worth anything. So there's such a limited amount of them that's why the value is so high on those. But like your newer comics now, I mean, the only way to drive up the price of something that you get is if it's a limited, like 1 in 50 or something.
Because it seems everything's valuable, like baseball cards, comic books.
But remember,
video games.
The only value that anything has is the value we put on it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It's whatever you decide. But
yeah, so if I decide that Mario 3 to me is worth $500, and I'm gonna hold it to that price.
Like open price or
no? Well, let's just say that
sealed.
That Mario sealed to me is worth $2 million, and I'm not gonna let it go for any less. That's the value I put on it. Now, eventually, maybe 5 years down the road, somebody's like, you know what, I agree with that, and then more people agree, and then before you know it, now it's like, okay, this is the going price for that game. It's like we put value on everything that we have.
Just like the Tom Brady football.
Yeah.
They figured that was his last game and last touchdown.
Yeah, and look, he's coming back.
Yeah, it was sold for over $500,000, guys.
Yeah, I'd be upset. I'd be like, wait a second, he's coming out of retirement? You know?
Me too.
Yeah,
but that's just an example, like, you know, you never know what you have, and now I'm in this mindset, I gotta buy doubles.
I still don't buy a lot of doubles. I buy for myself only.
For you to enjoy.
Yeah, just for me to have, and I collect them, but I also play them. Like
I play them too. But
yeah, they don't just, you know, sit somewhere. My comics are a little different. I don't really open those. I use a digital service for that. But it's nice to have the digital service too. So like maybe I don't want to constantly put my Mario 3, you know, in a Nintendo over and over, and so I'll use digital, you know, and take it on the go, like with the Switch.
So out of the trilogy of Super Mario 1, 2, or 3, which one's your favorite?
I still say 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll still go with 3.
That's the number 1 for you?
Yeah, I mean, it should be number 1 because that's what really brought me in, but 3 is such a great title. Probably be like 3, 1, and 2.
Mine's probably 2, 3, and 1. So that's just a retrospect of a discussion that we're having of just Nintendo and how big fans we are.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys like this presentation that we're bringing to you guys, and we're going to do an unboxing.
We'll cut right back to this in a second.
Okay. And
hold on, I want to do one thing.
Nintendo! Oh my god! Oh my god! Yes! Yes! Wow, that's good reenacted when you were a child. So we're just doing a quick unboxing real fast, guys.
All right.
So
I'll put that over here.
I haven't opened this in a long time.
Oh man.
In a long time.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna remove all of these components. I just wanted you guys to check out the console that I truly love. And wow, I haven't opened this in years. Wow.
Oh, the book
comes with the what? Sorry. Yeah. So this is how it looks. How it was originally. Normally the 2 controllers were in here, but again, I probably didn't have a chance to organize it.
No, that's fine, man.
But it has the AV component
cables. Oh,
yeah.
The AV,
hooked up on
the AV cables.
VCR, right?
I think my cousin or somebody had it hooked up to the VCR. Then you had your normal RF.
Now, out of the game, my brother and I and my sisters, we would normally play Mario. Yeah. But we would rarely play Dunk Hunt.
I played it every now and then. It was when I wanted to try something different. Yeah, like I had Duck Hunt and I had Hogan's Alley. Yeah. Which was another game, you know, a light gun game. And the only other time I think I used the light gun was Adventures of Bayou Billy. Oh, yeah? Because it had 3 different modes in the game. Remember, you had your side-scrolling beat 'em up. Yeah. You had your driving scenes, and then you had a scene where you could use that. And it even gave you the option, too, that you could either use the controller on those games, on the gun scenes, or you can use the light gun. So you could play with both controls, which I thought was cool. There wasn't, I don't think, a lot of games that used both. Mm-hmm. But that game allowed you to use both, so it really added new elements to that game. Wow. If you could make it through the side.
Sorry, guys. Bayou Billy was one of the.
That's what I was gonna say. If you could make it through the levels,
I'm sorry.
Then yeah, you were able to, you know, find those other ways to play.
I really needed my NES Max controller.
You had to, button. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I haven't used the Zapper in years. So. Yeah. So yeah, I would always cheat, guys, on Dunk Hunt. I would always go straight to the screen.
Yeah. You know, unfortunately too, like if you are able to get your hands on a system like this, the light gun will not work on HD TV. Mm-hmm. You have to have an original CRT. So
here's the Zapper instructions on how to use the Zapper. I love this.
Yeah, I still remember that.
Yeah, this
one always came in. Yeah, to get the Nintendo Power.
This is how you subscribe, right? Mm-hmm. Right there, guys. So wow, it's in good condition too. Unbelievable. And
like I said, I remember when I got this system, they gave you the first issue free. Mm-hmm. Like you could send out to get Nintendo Power's first issue free with the Mario, you know, the claymation look. Yeah. And then from there on, you know, it was up to you to go ahead and do that.
Wow, Nintendo offered a 90-day limited warranty.
Well, obviously you didn't send it in, so luckily it still worked.
And of course the memorable poster.
Yes, I remember that poster.
I would always look at it every once in a while, and here's a poster.
And the quick hookup on the backside. Yeah, yep. It tells you how to quickly hook up the system.
It tells you the many different games here, as you guys can see, Rad Racer, which is one of my favorites.
Don't forget the tagline on the poster too. Now you're playing with power. And then when you went to Super Nintendo, it's now you're playing with Superpower.
Great memories, nothing but happiness with the system. Yeah. And in the control deck. Yeah. How to hook it up. Mm-hmm. And then of course the manual, which we all adore and love. Yeah. Black and white in the inside. Oh, cool! It has Super Mario Secret Tip.
Oh, okay. And one time I bought a reproduction box just to have a box for my game, because I had this game still, and I was like, you know what? I don't like that it's in just a cartridge and, you know, the dust sleeve and the manual. Yeah. So I wanted a box, so I found somebody on eBay that does reproductions. And you could tell the reproductions, the cardboard doesn't look the same, right? Mm-hmm. It's new. But it's cool to have, like, you know, the box art. Yeah. You know, with the game that came with the system that didn't come with a box.
You're right. Yeah. And you know what my memory with the Power Pack, this was called Power Pack, right? So it never went out on me.
So that's the other thing with collecting your old school games. A lot of those systems for a very long time use these adapter plugs, right? Mm-hmm. These kind of AC adapters. And when you hook them all up, man, you have one for every one. You need a big power strip or multiple, because I mean those things are so big you can't like just fit them right next to each other. You got to kind of skip around.
You're right. Which I never knew why they were so bulky. Now it's like the new consoles.
Yeah, they have.
They're so simplified.
Yeah, they're so simplified now. Yeah.
So yeah, this is the system. So as you guys know, that this is the front, this is the side, this is the back.
Yeah, I like how it shows like a family. It even says on the box it's a family entertainment system, right?
You're right.
And Famicom, which is family computer, that's what it was called in Japan. But then coming to the US, they changed it to the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yeah.
They were trying to get away from the whole video game thing just because of the video game crash. I'm really glad that they were able to do that.
And it informs you on the action set, the games that are coming out, which I mentioned on our other videos, that Kung Fu was the first game that we bought. And so the NES Max controller, which I owned, and then here the Advantage, yeah. I played it as a kid, borrowing it from a childhood friend.
Actually, you have to use both control plugins for that one.
Yeah.
Because it's a larger controller.
So this is an NES action set. I hope you guys enjoyed it like we did.
It's nice to take a trip down memory lane. Alright guys, so hopefully you liked the video. We were glad to bring you this action set. Let us know in the comments below if you have any memories of back when the NES released. What system did you get? Because there was multiple. Let us know that in the comments below, and I guess we'll catch you guys next time.
Take care, guys.
There's a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with.
Toys R Us has the Nintendo Action Set. It comes with control deck, 2 game controllers, zapper light gun, and double game pack. All for just $99.99. And with all the hottest game cartridges from $29.99 to $59.99, Toys R Us is Nintendo headquarters.
More games, more toys.